A surprise inspection, a potential controversy, and a playoff race that could have flipped overnight. But when NASCAR took Zane Smith's number 38 car back to the R&D Center after Talladega Superspeedway, everyone in the garage was asking the same question: what did they find? Here's what we know quick and clean. After a strong run at Talladega Superspeedway, NASCAR flagged Zane Smith's car for a deeper inspection. The number 38 Ford from Front Row Motorsports was taken to the R&D Center for a full teardown. That usually means one thing: NASCAR wants a closer look at something that stood out. But this time, no violations, no penalties, no issues. Smith and his team walk away completely clear, and that's a massive win. This situation carries more weight than it looks on the surface. Talladega is one of the most scrutinized tracks on the schedule. Speeds are extreme, margins are razor thin, and even the smallest advantage can change the outcome of a race. That's why NASCAR often pulls top-performing cars for deeper inspection after superspeedway races. And historically, that's where things can go sideways. We've seen teams lose over 100 points after post-race inspections. We've seen playoff hopes collapse overnight. So when Zane Smith's car got sent to the R&D Center, this wasn't routine, it was serious. Now zoom out to the bigger picture. Smith is currently sitting 20th in the standings. He's 43 points below the playoff cut line, and there are only 16 races left in the regular season. That means every race, every finish, every point matters. If this inspection had gone the other way, his season could have been effectively over. Instead, he's still alive. This is where it gets interesting, because passing an R&D inspection isn't just about avoiding penalties. It sends a message. It tells the garage that Front Row Motorsports found legitimate speed. No gray area, no rule bending, just performance. And that changes how competitors view them moving forward. Now let's talk strategy. Superspeedway success doesn't always translate to intermediate tracks like Texas Motor Speedway. Talladega is about drafting and positioning. Texas, that's about raw speed, tire management, and balance. So the big question is, was that performance real or situational? If Front Row Motorsports has actually unlocked something in their setup, this could be a turning point. But there's also risk, because now NASCAR and every other team is paying closer attention. When a mid-pack team suddenly runs strong and passes inspection, it puts a spotlight on everything they do next. That means less room for error, less room for experimentation, and a lot more pressure. For Zane Smith, this is a defining stretch. He doesn't just need solid runs, he needs consistency. Top 15 finishes aren't enough anymore. He needs to start pushing toward the top 10, maybe even top 5s. Because with a 43-point gap, time is not on his side. The reaction here is subtle but important. Fans who follow the sport closely see this as a quiet victory. No headlines, no penalties. Just a team doing things the right way. But others, they're skeptical. Because when a car gets pulled for inspection, people expect something to be wrong. And when nothing is found, it raises a different question. Are smaller teams finally catching up? In the media, the tone is cautious. Some analysts are giving Front Row Motorsports credit for a clean, competitive run. Others are waiting to see if this pace shows up again or disappears next week. So what happens next? Zane Smith builds on this momentum. The team carries real speed into Texas and beyond. He starts closing that 43-point gap, and suddenly he's back in the playoff conversation. Talladega was an outlier. The speed doesn't translate. And despite a clean inspection, the results fall back to mid-pack finishes, leaving him on the outside looking in. So now the question is, was that Talladega performance the start of something real or just a perfect storm? Because if Front Row Motorsports just proved their speed is legit, the rest of the field should be paying attention. Drop your take in the comments. Does Zane Smith have a real shot at the playoffs? And if you want sharp breakdowns like this every week, stay locked in with SportsWire USA.